My name is Chinedum, and the name of my piece is What If? And it was basically, the story behind it is that recently I've been going through moments of just reflections where I've actually realised there were so many opportunities I missed out on, and it's got to a point where I was thinking, what if I did this, what if I did that? And not just me, I've got friends that have actually had experiences where they look back at it and wish they did something different, which is common for all human beings. So the reason why I decided to write about it is just to help people, encourage them to avoid what ifs, to reduce it. It's inevitable, but we can actually minimize it. What if? What if? No, but listen, what if you did this? What if you did that? Remember 5 minutes ago that you could have done that? What if? It's a phrase that we use so much in our lives that it's become a way of life. We live upon our regrets every single day. We say, what if I woke up a bit early? What if I left the house a bit early? What if I just fixed up a bit faster? What inspires me to write? I think my inspiration to write is the desire to motivate others. And because by doing that, I also motivate myself, because I almost look at it as a mirror, so I need to do what I say. And it's a good reminder for me to actually push myself and live up to my greatest potentials. Before you know it, you end up with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, because that's what your life ends up being, because you never did that you wanted to do. I don't have enough time to do this. Clearly you don't. But clearly you do, because you have 24 hours in a day. You still say that's not enough time. Break it down, that's 1,444 minutes in a day. But that's still not enough time. That's 864,000 seconds in a day. Usain Bolt broke the record in 9.58 seconds. It didn't just happen then. He used up every single second and every single minute that he had to work on his craft. Every day, waking up, making sure he tied his laces, putting the effort in every single time he got. My first performance and how I felt. I think my first performance definitely was when I was the age of 14, when I performed Jack Petchy Speak Out Challenge. It was a national competition that happens every year across students and different regions. So I got to the regional final and I came second place. And my topic was about fear, which ironically enough was what was occurring for me at the time when I found out I would be chosen. So at first I was just nervous to the point where I forgot what I wrote in the script, and it's almost like I freestyled it, but I realized it wasn't just freestyling, it was something from the heart. And ever since then, I just knew that this was definitely what I was meant to do, because with a speech I gave about fear, it was all very motivational to help people overcome their fears and live their lives the way they should and the way they do. But you wake up, you have this dream, you have this idea that you want to establish, that it's gotten to the point where it's no longer just an idea, it's almost like you're living it. You know how it's meant to play out. You know exactly where you want to live in 20 years. You know all these things. You've even gone so far to start writing it down, but you haven't even started doing any of it. Now, a saying that was once said is that the graveyard is the most wealthiest place because it has so many riches. Riches in terms of ideas that were never actually brought through. You don't want to end up like that. You have so many ideas that could revolutionize the world, the way we think, the way we live, but you really just don't even work in it. And before you know it, your ideas actually revolve around the I can't. I've got this going on, I've got that going on. But when you didn't have this and that going on, you just said, I'll do it later. You lived in complacency. Now you're living with regrets. I believe that the audience were very, very motivated by it, because at the end I got a standing ovation, which was the very first time I've ever had that. I was in a crowd of 300 people. And to have people come down to me to ask me if I had things like YouTube or something, I was quite moved by it, because I'd only just started it. That was my first speaking experience in public. So I'm sure that I know that the audience really felt good about it, and it made me feel good as well, as it inspired it. An interesting quote, an interesting interview of Muhammad Ali was when he was asked what was his biggest motivation. He said it wasn't about the fights, it wasn't about the fame, it was about living a legacy. You're not living a legacy, you're living a life of complacency. What's the difference with this guy and this guy? It's the mindset. Steve Jobs even went on to say that the difference between successful people and those that never make it is the mindset. Some think that they can and they do it. Some think that they can but they don't do it. When are you going to turn your idea into an I did? I'll repeat that again. You need to turn your idea into an I did. Because unless you do, you will live in a life of regrets and you never reach your full potential. Well, with what I do now, I definitely see it as becoming a career. Because it's better to do something that you enjoy as opposed to something that you have to endure. So for me, that's my motto. I just want to live a life that I enjoy what I do. And I'm working towards making a career in motivational speaking. So yeah, you'll be seeing more of me. What if you woke up 10 minutes earlier? What if you spent an extra hour on that coursework? Now the human body works in an incredible way. Have you ever had an experience when you nearly went to bed, you were feeling really sleepy, but you just stayed 10 minutes and for some reason you were awake? How does that happen? Because you've exceeded that threshold. Be strong, persevere. You need to overcome it because you don't want to end a life of what ifs.